grab some Elmer school glue for this renter-friendly project. First, I gave my window a really good cleaning. Grab some masking tape to mask out an abstract design, and then I'm going to take my Elmer's glue and pour it straight into the tray. Then I just rolled my glue onto the window. I removed that masking tape before the Elmer's glue could dry.
Grab an empty cardboard box and tuck in the side flaps. Take some jute rope, glue one end of the rope to the bottom corner of your box. Glue and wrap the entire outside of the box. Take a decorative towel and line the inside of the box. Pick up a plant stand dolly. Take a basket with a bottom that is larger. Attach the dolly to the bottom of the basket. Cut off the excess zip ties.
Grab one of these square clear plastic containers, a round garden dish, and some of these silver and white plates from the wedding aisle. I'm going to use a little bit of E6000 to secure them into place, and then I'm going to let this securely set. I'm also going to take the round garden dish and I'm going to glue that with the E6000 on top of the candle holders, and I gave it a good coat. Then I'm going to take my plastic plate and I'm going to glue it to the front, and then I'm going to give the whole thing a spray with this gray chalk paint, and then I'm going to come in just with some gray acrylic paint. I'm going to give it some texture on the sides as well as working in some black, and then I came in with some white paint and I just dry brushed it on. I decided for the bottom part I wanted to add a little bit of a bright color. I next came in with this metallic paint. Then I took some Mod Podge and I printed off a vintage scale face and I Mod Podged that into the middle of the plate. Then I took this and glued it back onto the front part.
Blow up a balloon, then grab some wood slices. Take 2 wood slices and glue the sides together using a low-temp glue gun. Let the discs bend slightly so they follow the curve of the balloon. To fill in, glue smaller-sized wood discs into these spaces. Once you have all the discs where you want them and the glue has set, pop the balloon. I styled my new wood slice bowl by laying some moss on a tray and nestling the wood slice bowl on top. Then I added a beautiful pink orchid.
Saw some candles from Pottery Barn. I thought it'd be fun to try making them myself. I'm going to put a little glue into a small container and then add a bit of paint. Now that I have the glue tinted, I'm going to paint it all over the glass dish on the outside. I'm going to leave these for a few hours before moving on. Using some Mod Podge, I'm going to paint it around the dishes. I can sprinkle the white glitter all over it, and then when it dries, the glitter will stay in place. I grabbed these pillar candles from the dollar store and I'm going to melt them down. I'm just going to use a couple of skewers to hold the wicks in place. I want to add some essential oil to give my candles a beautiful scent. It's time to fill the glass dishes. The final thing to do is to remove the skewers and then trim the wicks.
The next time you're browsing the toy aisle at Dollar Tree, don't pass by these plastic wiffle balls, and I'm going to take just some scrap fabric that I had laying around. I'm going to start with a bead of hot glue on my plastic wiffle ball, letting it set, and then pulling the fabric nice and tight. I'm going to wrap it around the wiffle ball. Then I'm going to glue that end down, and I'm just going to repeat this process over and over again, just overlapping my fabric a little bit each time.
Woven storage baskets aren't just for storage anymore. Hammer a small nail into the wall and hang basket number 1, number 2, and number 3 in whatever arrangement you like. This is perfect for storing bathroom essentials within easy reach. Grab some fabric softener and your favorite color of latex paint. Take some poster board and measure and cut out squares. Lay the poster board squares on the rug in a checkerboard pattern. Mix together 1 part latex paint to 1 part clear fabric softener and stir completely. Start to paint in the open areas between the squares. It's a good idea to paint all the squares lightly and then go back and fill in with more paint. Continue to add paint to each square until you get the color density that you want. Start to paint your pots and saucers with a matte finish paint or chalk paint. Take a paper napkin and separate the 2-ply layers. Draw a circle and cut it out with scissors. Take the saucer and brush the decoupage glue so the bottom and sides of the saucer are covered. Place the paper napkin circle and press down in the center and smooth the napkin out. Dip a small paintbrush in water and brush along the top of the saucer. Add a final layer of decoupage glue. Take a strong adhesive glue and place a ring of glue. Place the saucer on top of the bottom of the pot. Grab a can of black spray paint and a roll of rattan webbing. Grab one of those outdoor folding metal tables. Clean it up with cut some paper and tape to the table so only the frame shows. Give the frame a fresh coat of black spray paint and let it dry completely. Outline the top of the table onto the rattan webbing with a Sharpie. Cut out the circle with some sharp scissors. Spray one side of the rattan with some spray adhesive. Spray the top of the table and let it sit for a few seconds until the surface is tacky. Place and press the sticky side of the rattan circle onto the top of the table. Place some heavy books on top of the rattan. Use some sharp scissors to trim the excess rattan from the circle.
Grab some of these gold frames. I'm then going to come in with some wire cutters and I'm going to pull out the black tabs that keep the backing on. Then I'm going to take out the glass and I'm going to come with some E6000 and I'm going to glue the glass inside the frame. Then I'm going to come and take 8 of the frames and I'm going to glue 2 of them together. And then I'm going to clamp them together and I'm going to let this set overnight. I came back the next day, removed all my heavy objects that I placed on top, and then as well removed the clamps from all the frames. So I'm going to glue all the sides and then I'm going to just raise them up here and build a rectangular shape. So 2 frames on each end and then the 2 that are glued together for the sides. I'm going to let this set overnight again, making sure that the glue is really solid. And then I'm just going to come in and finish it up with a nice A-frame top with my remaining 4 frames.
You know all those lonely donated lampshades pick up a matching pair. Pick up a thrifted belt. Run a bead of clear glue around the perimeter. Take the other lampshade, place it on top of the other lampshade. Take some jute twine and tie the inner hardware of the 2 lamps together. Give the connected shades a little shake to make sure they are securely connected. Take the belt and buckle it around the skinny center of the 2 lampshades. Add a little glue to the loose end of the belt and secure it to the rest of the belt. Find a thin wood circle disc. Paint the edge with some acrylic paint. And peel and stick wallpaper is perfect for this project. Place the wallpaper disc on the lampshade base.
Have a cylinder vase from the Dollar Tree, this epoxy pen holder on Amazon, and I'm gonna basically just trace. All right, so now that I have hollowed out the center, I wanna make sure that the paint doesn't necessarily sink in to the foam. So to create a barrier and something that'll dry relatively quickly, Mod Podge or like Elmer's glue, we're going to use a Dixie Belle paint.
Quick trip to my local Dollarama. Separate the layers, cut the napkin so that you have enough to cover the body of the jar. Now I'm using some clear glue mixed with a tiny amount of water, paint it onto the side of the glass jar. Then lay down the paper nap and then using a piece of scrunched up plastic wrap, use that to pat down the napkin and eliminate any wrinkles that way. Draw around the lid because that will be the right size and cut out the piece of napkin, stick it to the bottom of the jar in the same way. Using the same process, cut out a circle for the top and a little strip for the edge and stick it in place. When it was dry, I decided to give it 2 coats of a gloss varnish. I have taken a battery operated puck light and stuck it into the lid of the glass jar.